So here's some close-up of the area of Utah, and so this is the 90th Division and the 502nd Regiment of the 101st, and these two, the 90th Division is being tasked with working its way up towards Cherbourg, going up the highway. You got the 101st, that regiment, 502nd going up the highway towards Magdeburg. And of course, those of you guys who have played, Normandy campaign games know that this is the area that was defended by the 709th Division of the Germans. Those red counters, those are German fortifications. So you got strong points and weapon nests here. And you also have improved positions. The improved positions are built by engineers and infantry battalions. The strong points you see there with the arrows pointing around it, those are coastal guns, and they actually act as artillery that can fire during the defensive fire support phase or the offensive fire support phase, just like regular artillery does. So if we work our way south here, you see the 4th Division and the 101st Airborne, the bulk of the 101st Airborne, and they're trying to work their way into Carentan, which you can see there is occupied by the 6th Fallschirmjäger Regiment, and then you see some of the 91st Division, their little armor there, their French or Czech tanks they got there, and underneath there is a battalion of the 91st and another battalion of the Fallschirmjäger. And the airborne working their way along the railroad to try and flank that stack of the 91st there. And then what's interesting when I look at this part of the map compared to other games are those bridges that are over the Douve River there. I've not seen that on any other map of Normandy campaign that I've played. Usually that's a pretty major river and flooded obstacle that is pretty difficult to get through, and for Atlantic Wall they've put these little bridges on there. The other mark up there, it's a blue line, looks like a capital I. I do not know what that is. I've not been able to find it in the rules. So if anybody knows what that is, maybe they can share that with us. We move here to the west a little bit. You can see the 82nd Airborne area. You see all that on-hand supply. That's because of the supply rules in the the early part of the game. The 82nd Airborne headquarters is right there. Let's see if I can focus it. Right there next to the drop zone there. It's got the low fuel marker on it. That is the 82nd Airborne headquarters, and it has to stay adjacent to that drop zone. And so these airborne units here can only trace 6 movement points to be in supply to the headquarters. And even if they can use mechanized movement, but if they are using mechanized movement, on that primary road, they're still just counting 1. So the bulk of the division, because I wanted to stretch it out and form a good perimeter, they are on-hand supply, which means they are in supply for a turn, but if they engage in combat, then they're going to lose that supply, and then they'll be out of supply. If you look over here at the Germans, you got the 243rd and the 91st. kind of intermingled there. The 243rd is back up this direction, and they're trying to make their way. They've got different pieces, pretty spread out on the western part of the peninsula here, and they're trying to make their way east and get in the fight. So that is the Utah Beach area, and I'm going to go ahead and post this, and then you guys can give me some feedback as to whether this is helpful or not. I will say, I mean, I'm just to be self-critical here. I'm holding my iPad, and I can tell that it's shaking, and I'm not sure how that's going to come across. So, give me some feedback.